The Steet Ponte Auto Group in Yorkville and Herkimer and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. Pick up the new November issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine today at our nearly 200 mom-and-pop advertiser locations. Find the complete list on our website, mohawkvalleyliving.com, where you can download and read the magazine online, also on Facebook.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Today we are traveling all over, including a little trip to Little Falls, so stay tuned.
Gonna have me a heart of gold that's just like David's when I get over on the other side. Gonna sing and play with a band of a million angels. When I get home I'm gonna be satisfied.
Don't forget that it's winter farmers market season, including the new winter market at the Dunham Public Library tomorrow and every first and third Monday of each month, from 3 to 7 p.m. at 76 Main Street in Whitesboro.
Gonna have a little talk with Ruth and with Naomi. Gonna have a little talk with Peter, James, and Paul. Gonna sit down and have a little talk with Dad and Mom.
The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull.
I love Mohawk Valley Living.
I love Mohawk Valley Living.
I love Mohawk Valley Living.
I absolutely love Mohawk Valley Living.
I love Mohawk Valley Living.
Mark your calendars for the 7th annual Christmas in Little Falls, Saturday, December 13th. Enjoy a good old-fashioned Christmas with live music, carriage rides, and free family events. There is shopping and an indoor farmers market and artisans fair, Saturday, December 13th in Little Falls.
Now through December 31st, visit Cooperstown and the Fenimore Art Museum's new exhibition, Dorothea Lange's America. Explore Lange's intriguing Depression-era photographic images of migrant workers, suffering families, and tortured landscapes.
For more information, visit FenimoreArtMuseum.org.
The Fenimore Art Museum, overlooking Otsego Lake in Cooperstown. Great American art in a beautiful setting.
Melrose Supermarket is your family hometown market, known for their choice hand-cut meats, homemade breads, and fresh pastas and salads. Check out the weekly specials at Melrose Supermarket, East Main Street in Frankfort.
The biggest Flex Deal sale of all is back, the factory authorized sale. You'll save on all styles, all models, all Flex Deal. Get factory authorized savings on everything from recliners and sofas to custom orders. Even Flex Deal's Latitudes and South Haven collections are on sale. So don't miss Adirondack Furniture's Flex Deal factory authorized sale and enjoy up to 20% off the sale prices, going on now.
Adirondack Furniture, this is where it gets good.
Attend the Farmers Museum Conference on Food and Farming, Saturday, November 15th. The conference will inform and inspire farmers and the public, highlighting heritage-based as well as biotech farming. Admission is free to the conference on food and farming, Saturday, November 15th from 9 to 5 at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown.
Her name was Loretta, I should have known better, but I fell for her love anyway. We got together because of a letter that she sent.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible. This week we're heading to Little Falls. We decide to spend one of the last warm days of autumn in one of our favorite cities. And one of our favorite places to visit is historic Canal Place. The old mills along the Mohawk River are still teeming with activity, over 150 years after they were built. One of the mills is home to the Little Falls Antique Center, and like a good antique itself, it still retains many of the features of the original paper mill.
Well, the Little Falls Antique Center opened just about 18 years ago, October 1st, 1996. But the building has been here since 1855 when it opened as a paper mill. This is when water power was so incredibly important to the whole development of Little Falls. And for a while, we actually had an electric company in the cellar. There's part of an old turbine in there now. Well, for the longest time, Sherry, from the 20s until the 70s, it was Stafford and Holt, and they made knitting machinery. Most of Little Falls and the Valley, of course, was involved with the textile industry, and they were producing the machinery that knit the circular knitting machinery for the fabric. It is wonderful having shops here. We support all the local, shop local, but the idea originally came from a woman who was involved with the Historic Society. Some people remember Ruth Busacker, who we owned the building and we weren't sure really what to do with it. And she said to me, I think it would be a great antique center. And here we are. People love to come here for the history and they'll ask us, where's the canal, where's the lock, what else is going on around here, what was this building? We have a little history written up. Usually we run out of them because we give them out so frequently. But people love the history and they love the antiques.
Take a tour of the historic paper mill and do some antiquing at the Little Falls Antique Center and the shops at 25 West. It is open every day from 10 to 5 at historic Canal Place.
Plant good things to eat. I'm gonna heel it in with my own 2 feet. Yeah, down in the dirt. Dig down, dig down. Way, way down in the ground. I'm gonna dig down in the dirt where all the good things grow.
There is plenty to see and do when you explore Canal Place in Little Falls. The Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts always has something new, whether for sale at the gift shop or local artwork on display in the gallery, like the dynamic new exhibit, Landscapes Old and New.
The current artist is Frank Wilcox, who's a board member here at the Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts. He's a teacher, and he's been involved with the Arts Center for many years. Frank is our honoree of the year this year. We're going to honor him with a dinner this coming Friday, and we'll have a great reception at the Mohawk Valley Country Club. And we'll just honor Frank, and we'll have some guest speakers talking about his various contributions to not just the Arts Center, but to the artistic community locally. Each year we have an honoree dinner where we can honor a person or a group of people that contributes in some way to what we do here at the Arts Center. Obviously we have a large number of volunteers who help us out in many ways. And it's always great to highlight someone because there's always a great deal of people who contribute in many ways to our success here at the Arts Center.
Make your reservations for the annual Honorary Artist Dinner this Friday at the Mohawk Valley Country Club. Stop by the Arts Center or call 823-0808. You can see the art of Frank Wilcox on display through November 22nd at the Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts in Little Falls.
Catching catfish, 1, 2, 3, that's enough for you and me. Mark's got pollywogs, 8, 9, 10. Whoops, he just fell in again. Moss-covered rods, water that's freezing, warm summer breeze, sure is pleasing, sun shining through the white birch trees. We're just doing as we please.
Well, everyone in town has been telling us we have to check out Little Falls' newest restaurant, the Copper Moose on Main Street. It seems the word is out, as the new ale house already has regular customers. Maybe it's their fine food, or the friendly bartender serving up one of their 27 draft beers.
How fortunate it is for the people of Little Falls to have this ale house right on Main Street. The food here is absolutely incredible. It's called the Copper Moose, and make it a point to take a trip here to Little Falls to try their food and to enjoy the ambiance.
So Copper Moose was a combination of my business partner Kevin. His father used to play for the Copper City Chiefs back in the 70s, and Moose is sort of a Adirondack feel, and so we combined the two for Copper Moose. And after we had the name, then it seems like the decorations fell together, the large copper moose in the window, and And the building really lent itself sort of to the way it looks today. It almost designed itself, and so we were very happy the way it, of course, ultimately came out. So our food is sort of a blend of what I would call New American pub fare, which is more of an upscale type of pub fare. It's a combination of sort of the favorites that you would expect when you go into a pub, as well as some other dishes that are more inspired by our classically trained chef, Sean Steenberg. And so we try to make sure that our menu changes seasonally, and our customers are delighted whenever they walk in. There's something different to try on the menu from what we carry on the menu, as well as our specials that we have during the week on, especially Fridays and Saturdays, fish and steak specials. So I think the response has been very, very favorable from the entire Mohawk Valley. We get folks that travel fairly extensively just to come here because they've heard very nice things about the place, as well as we couldn't make it at all without the support that we get from all of our friends and family here in Little Falls. And of course, our regulars that come by, and they enjoy coming in either for one of our 27 draft beers, or they come by and they have a favorite item on the menu. And so again, whenever they come in, we try to delight each customer that walks in.
So you've only been open a couple months and you have regulars already?
Absolutely, we have regulars, yeah. Now, I don't know if that's because we change up our beers very frequently as well. So we keep them coming back because they never know what's on the beer menu. So.
The Copper Moose Ale House is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 p.m. at 518 East Main Street in Little Falls. Check them out on Facebook or find the link on our website, MohawkValleyLiving.com.
It's not what you take or give. It's here I wanna live. Oh, I'm making this valley my own.
When planning your family's future, turn to the principles of the past. Turn to Turnbull. Turnbull Insurance Service is an independent agency representing the most dependable companies for all your insurance needs, as well as complete financial planning and wealth management. Call today for a free assessment. Get your tickets now for the American Shakespeare Center's performance of Much Ado About Nothing, Saturday, November 1st at 7:30 p.m. at the Wellen-Schambach Center for Music and the Performing Arts at Hamilton College. This powerful comedy will make you laugh, break your heart, then magically put it back together again. Get your tickets online or call 853-4331.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Whether you're looking to sell or buy your first home, retirement property, farm, or lake house, call River Hills Properties. Agents look forward to meeting with you to present a personalized plan. River Hills Properties, bringing you home. Call 896-1009. Fall fashion begins at the Village Crossing. Shop for the latest in women's attire, jewelry, shoes, and handbags designed to delight. The Village Crossing on the Village Green in Clinton.
I, R.A. Dudrak, the Window King, invite you to visit our showroom in Holland Patent, or we'll come to your home by appointment. We've been installing replacement windows for over 45 years. Keep your palace cool in the summer and warm in the winter by adding new windows. Many styles and selections to choose from. Bay, bow, garden, and double hung, single hung, and slider windows. The Window King also introduces color replacement windows. So take a short drive to R.A. Dudrak, Holland Patent, and tell them the Window King sent you.
Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377.
Laying back in the summer.
Before we head to the North Country, we take a scenic drive to visit a farm in the Stockbridge Valley. On our way, we travel through historic Knoxboro and notice that the old farmhouse from the 1700s has been completely restored, along with its accompanying hop house. We learn that it's the project of Daniel Stoltzfus, who we first met years ago at his business, Custom Woodcraft. He was kind enough to give us a tour.
Well, we always liked the setting of it, and we liked it had a barn and a nice big house, but it looked like a lot of work, so that's why we didn't buy it when it was for sale the first time. After it came up for sale 20 years later, we gave an offer and they accepted it, and we started a project much bigger than what we expected to get involved in. Well, first of all, I've always wanted to restore an old house. I never thought it'd be quite as extensive as this one is, but when we saw the Hops house, we wanted the stone walls were there. We decided to put a roof on and to put a small cottage next to it, and then it got a little bigger and bigger, and so this is it's kind of a work in progress. And so the big house was, we just basically went back to the original and gutted it and duplicated all the original trim and the inside. Well, we have the business Custom Woodcraft, which we do custom cabinetry and custom millwork, and we have our own molder, so we could duplicate all the trim. If it wouldn't have been for that, it wouldn't have happened. So that way we could go back and make any knife we wanted to try to duplicate the original. Some of the original trim was actually plaster, which we made it all in wood. Well, this used to be the hops kiln, and we restored it. The roof was gone when we bought it, so we had to look at pictures and other buildings that had a roof on like that. Then we were going to put a ceiling in, and someone said, well, you don't want to put a ceiling in there. So we ended up putting a skylight at the top and make the roof, the wood all the way up, and we had to taper each piece to fit exactly. We had to find the circumference at each end of the board to be able to fit it to where it is now. And
a little bit of math in there?
A little bit of math, but it was very interesting work, but this is what it turned out to be. Most of the work was done evenings and Saturdays, and we burned a lot of midnight oil here to get it done. But I have 3 boys that enjoy the same work, and so we worked together, and it was a very interesting family project that we did. So that's what makes it worthwhile, just being able to work together and get something that we can see a final product, and it's a lot of satisfaction to see a job well accomplished.
To take an old crumbling hop house that would have been lost to time and to turn it into something like this took quite a bit of imagination, and trust me, it worked. It is gorgeous.
The farmhouse and hop house are now available for overnight guests as Lights of Home Bed and Breakfast. Learn more about the story of its renovation and see pictures online at visitlightsofhome.com or call 843-4462.
On the rolling hills, stretch out far and wide. The walls are strong and sturdy through the years. It's held up well. Oh, if that old house could talk, the stories it would tell.
We continue to our destination in Munnsville, Red Fox Farm on Blowers Road, overlooking beautiful Stockbridge Valley. The farm is owned by Jim and Kelly Broniszewski, who dreamed of raising their children in the same place Jim's grandfather Blowers did. Besides raising cattle, Kelly keeps busy with her own homespun business.
I started making jams about 19 years ago. I kind of was forced into quitting my job when my oldest son was born. He was born with cancer. I had to stay home with him. Was a little bit bored, wanted a hobby, and saw a commercial about Sure Gel of all things, and confronted Jim's grandmother who owned this farm, and asked for some advice from her, and so flourished my interest in making jam, and it just went from there, starting as a hobby, and every year I just got into making more and more, starting from strawberry to grape, and pretty soon it just went from 1 flavor to 2 to 3 to 4, and here I am selling it at all the farmers markets and to well over 30 retail stores now. It's expanded quite rapidly, actually. From the first time I went to my first farmer's market in Hamilton, absolutely not. Never imagined. I'm from the city. No, never imagined. I'm blown away. I really am.
So how much do you make now?
I've got to say I probably make at least 500 cases a year, at least. That's a lot for homemade jam from a little tiny 12 by 8 kitchen.
You can find Red Fox Farm jams and jellies at the Oneida County Public Market and Hamilton Farmers Market on Saturdays and the Westmoreland Farmers Market on Sundays. You can also find them on Facebook.
So far to help each other along. Well, we all share something special here in this valley that's our home. Just as sure as the Mohawk rolls along, I'll never be alone, making this valley my home. I'm so proud to call it my home. It's not what you take to give. It's here I wanna live. Oh, I'm making this valley my
I love Mohawk Valley living.
I love Mohawk Valley living.
I love Mohawk Valley living.
I absolutely love Mohawk Valley living.
I love Mohawk Valley living.
The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. Visit Brenda's Natural Foods in their brand new, bigger location, right down the street at 236 West Dominic Street in Rome. Brenda's Natural Foods, something good and a lot of it.
Hi, welcome to the Little Falls Antique Center in the shops at 25 West. We have 2 full floors with 50 vendors of interesting and unique products ranging from specialized to very eclectic, primitive to the not so primitive. Remember, shop local, we're worth the trip.
Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. Meelan's Market is your holiday meat headquarters, featuring boneless hams, smoked, trimmed, and cured by Bob Meelan himself, stuffed pork chops, low-salt, low-fat kielbasa, chicken cordon bleu, and remember to pre-order your Plainville turkey at Meelan's Market at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. Oscar's Picture Framing offers hand-finished molding and restoration of antique frames, preserving artwork, pictures, needlework, and memorabilia. Oscar's Picture Framing, Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products. At Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally.
The people you know, the rock you love, and more songs per hour. 92.7 FM, The Drive, Central New York's locally owned independent rock station.
I'm here today at the corner of Charlotte and Elizabeth Street in front of a parking lot, not a typical place for Mohawk Valley Living to have a shoot, but this particular spot has a historic past. It started probably back in 1838 when the state of New York mandated that public libraries be under the domain of the public school system. There were a number of locations for the library. Mechanics Hall was down on, and is still down on, the corner of Whitesboro Street and Hotel Street. It's an early 1800s building, probably one of the oldest still functioning buildings in the city of Utica. After Mechanics Hall, it was in the Knickerbocker building and in a number of other places on Broad and Catherine Street. The superintendent of schools and the library moved to the City Hall. In about 1876, it was decided that a library building was needed because the City Hall was too congested, it was inconvenient. And right here on the corner of Charlotte and Elizabeth Streets, they built a magnificent building. It was considered to be one of the finest library buildings in the entire country, one that would last 100 years. To its east was the Boys Trade School, previously the Advanced School, and even before that, the Female Academy. And to its west was the Comfort Station, and this was a public toilet with the ladies on the left-hand side and the men on the right-hand side. It was a subterranean building, very small, but it was here for years and years and years. This building, destined to last 100 years, got so congested with so many people who wanted the library, because at the time there was no television, there was very little radio, there was really not much entertainment. So a library was a very significant thing in a community. In fact, the patrons of the library demanded that the library be open on Sunday. In 1893, the library no longer needed to be under the public school system. It was no longer a mandate of the state. And a guy named Melvin Dewey, who was creator of the Dewey Decimal System, went upstairs with a group of people from the city as well as the Board of Commissioners, and decided that what the community really needed was a brand new library, exclusive as a library. And that's where we'll go next week and talk about the library that was built and opened in 1904 on Genesee Street. Well, last week we were down at Elizabeth Street at the Utica City Library. Today we're up here at what's called the Utica Public Library. And if you look up at the sign in the library, it says Utica Public Library, and it doesn't say Carnegie Library. And there was a big dispute over that little term 100 years ago. And what really happened was the city of Utica decided that they were going to have a referendum to build a new library. Back in 1900, $220,000 is the price that this library cost. Was quite a significant amount of money. But nevertheless, the citizens of the city of Utica felt they needed a library, and they passed that referendum, only to find out later that cities like Schenectady and Syracuse had their libraries built by Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie came with no money for Utica, New York, even when they asked him for the money. He said, no, you've already approved the money for it, you evidently have it, and so I'm not going to build a library for Utica, New York. And there was a lot of controversy about that, and a lot of awful cartoons and articles regarding Andrew Carnegie because of that. But nevertheless, when this library opened in 1904, and this was originally the site of the Charles Hutchinson home, it was acquired by Thomas R. Proctor and given to the city of Utica for this library. The library opened on December 12, 1904, and it was a very, very big occasion. There were parades, and the public was invited inside. There were very few speeches, and then the public was allowed to roam the library for 3 hours, and they did it, and everybody was really thrilled by this. And the conversation that went around during that opening was, thank God it's not a Carnegie Library and it's the Utica Public Library.
Oh God.